Okay, so today what we're going to do is graph some lines, and we're going to do it by using a point that we're given and also the slope of the line that we're trying to graph. So let's go ahead and make a few graphs here. The very first thing that I would want to do is to graph the point that I'm given, which in this case is right here. I'll just make a little scribbly mark so you can see what I'm talking about. 1, 3. And we have to remember that when we go to graph a point, you always start at the origin, right in the middle, and you go sideways first. So we want to go 1 in the positive direction, and then you go up and down. So we're going to go up 3 in the positive direction, and we're going to put our first point. Before you can use the slope, you have to get an anchor point. Now, once we have an anchor point, we can go from there to get our other points on the line. So let's start at that red point, and this is the only one that I'm going to make red. And our slope is rise over run. If you wanted to remember that, you could always write it down for yourself. Rise over run. Just like that. And so we're going to rise 2, positive 2, and we're going to run 3 in the positive direction. 1, 2, 3, and we're going to put. Now I can do that again. 1, 2, rise. 1, 2, 3, run. Okay, and you're probably looking at this and saying, well, why can't you do it again? And I could go up 2 and over 3. But what I'd like you to do is to get 2 dots, 2 more points. I made them blue using your slope. Then what I would like you to do, I'm going to use a different color here to demonstrate this. I'd like you to go back to your original point, your red point in this case, and I want you to do just the opposite, go backwards. Okay, so I'm going to go down 2, and I'm going to go left 3. 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to put a point there. And then I'm going to do that one more time. Down 2, left 1, 2, 3. And I'll show you in a minute why we can do that and why it works. But let me draw my line first, and then we'll take a look at why that actually works. So let's see here. We'll pick the line tool, and let's see if we can get this to work here. That was bad. I'll have to erase that. Let's try this. Aha. That looks good. Right there, right there. Okay. Let's delete, not that. Let's delete this thingy here. There we go. Alright. Oops. Let's do this. Let's extend our line, because our line should go forever in both directions. Okay. And if you want to be really technical here, which I would want you guys to be, draw those arrows on the end. Okay, so there's our line anyhow. So let me show you why, even though the slope is 2 over 3, you wouldn't have to do this, but I'm showing you up 2 over 3, up 2 over 3. Right, you keep doing it. Let me show you why you can go down 2, left 3 to get other points. So let's think of it this way. If we went down 2, we'd be going negative 2. If we went left 3, think about this, we went down 2, there's down, and then left 3, we'd be going negative 3. But what's a negative divided by a negative? Negative divided by a negative is a positive 2 over 3, and that was our original slope. So when we go backwards, it seems a little bit funny, but it ends up being the same exact slope that we were given, and so we're allowed to go backwards like that. Okay, so let me erase this, because there's one more thing that I would like you to do whenever you graph lines, and all I need is the line and the points. I don't need these steps or anything that I made right there. The last thing I would like you to do is move from left to right, and I'm going to circle these to show you what I mean. This is my first point as I go from left to right. I'd like you to write the ordered pairs. So we have negative 5, negative 1. My next point from left to right is right there. That's negative 2, positive 1. I have 1, 3. Keep going to the right. I have 4, 5. And my last ordered pair is 7, 7. Okay, so let's go ahead and run through another example here, and I'll write a little less of a fluff that I have around it. It's not really a fluff. It is good for you to see, but I'll show you exactly what I want, no more, no less. Okay, so number 2. Let's take a look here. Let's clear this off. Go to number 2. Okay, so number 2. First thing I see with number 2 is that I need a slope with a rise and a run. So some of you might notice that you could put a 1 under there or know that. That's how I make that a rise and a run. Okay, I didn't change the value of the number. It's still -3, but now I have a rise and a run. So I start with my point, which is -2 and -1, and I go over -2 and then down -1. So that's my first point. I'm going to make it red. All of your points will be the same color. Okay, from there my slope says that I have to go down 3, 1, 2, 3, and then over +1. There's a do it again. 1, 2, 3 over +1. Okay. Now I want to go back the other direction, so I'm going to get a different color. You could use the same one, obviously. Hopefully a purple. I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3, and over 1. So that stays on the same line. It doesn't look goofy or anything. It's the same line. Up 1, 2, 3, over 1. Now I have 5 ordered pairs right there. So I would expect you after this to draw yourself a line. We'll make a line here the best we can. Whoops. It's going to look something like that. And let's do this. Let's see. Can I get it? Oh, got it. Fantastic. It's going to look something like that. All right, with your arrows on the end, of course, right? And so I'd want to see that. And then I'd also want to see your ordered pairs. So I'd start with this right here because that's the farthest one to the left. This one's a little further right. So I'm going to go here. And I see -4, 5. I see this next. That's -3, 2. I see -2, -1. I see -1, -4. And I see 0, -7. So those would be my ordered pairs that I'd expect you to write. And so that's what I would expect to see on your paper. A line with 5 points, if you can fit 5 points. And I would like the ordered pairs written down off to the side. Not right on the graph, but off to the side where they're a little bit easier to read. Now I want to show you one more graph here. We're not going to go through the whole thing, but I want to show you the graph because so far, like in this last example, I've been giving you a point. It says it has the word point. I might show you this a different way, but it's basically the same question. Number 3 here. You see how this time I have y-intercept is 3? Okay. We have to remember that the y-intercept is right on this y-axis, and +3 would put it right there. So that's actually where we would start, and then we would get 4 other points from there and write our ordered pairs as we had done before. So just as a quick wrap up here, remember if I give you a point and a slope and I ask you to graph the line, you would start with the point. That could be the y-intercept, and then you use your slope to try to get a total of 5 points, and then you would write the ordered pairs down as well after you've drawn a line through those points. Okay.